Okay, this is the piece that we're gonna work out what's going on. And I prepared notation for the A section. It has two different endings, and I'll break down all the chords and all the fingerings for you. And right away after I'm done with this first part, I'll start preparing the next one, because this is the tune that it has everything that is best of Chet's fingerpicking. I mean, there are some brilliant lines, there are some wonderful open string runs in there, and this A section is also pretty brilliant. So before I put the on-screen notation, I'll just have a quick look at the whole structure of those two A sections. It starts with a little anacrux, a little pickup bar, and it goes straight to the chord. So it's second, third, and fourth fret of D string. So these are three sections of a stretchy chords and a little run, and the fingerpicking pattern is the same pretty much for those three movements. And good idea to practice this particular run. I use thumb pick. You don't have to. It will work. It will work with bare thumb as well. But there are at least two approaches that I can think of. Obviously, trying to do everything slowly will work the best. So there's like a main pattern, but it repeats twice. So it's thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, ring. And my starting position is that I keep my first four fingers, my thumb, index, middle, and ring finger, on four strings. So every finger strums its own string in this particular case, because it helps me keeping my palm together, and this is just very, very tiny movement of my fingertips to strum the strings. So like keeping them on my strings as at like initial point, it helps me feel where the strings are. I don't have to look for them, and I don't have to make any movements of my forearm to get my notes right away from the get-go. And this helps me getting right pulse, right timing, hold it all together, and get it up to tempo. Because so this is like one idea, just use individual fingers, but they're very close together. Also, my hand is very relaxed, there's no tension whatsoever anywhere. Or you can kind of keep them together and think of it like they're starting on the edge of a string, and whenever I strum, I use my downward movement of thumb pick or thumb, and then I just slightly lift my palm to strum the strings. So it's almost like having the whole chord together and lifting the hand, but I do a little flex and just split my fingers. But this is like again, it may work for you, doesn't have to. The first one with individual fingers is now when I think about it, it depends on the situation and tempo. I use both techniques. even without really thinking about it, right? So this is like a general view of the techniques used, right? So that's the rhythm, that's the pulse. These are runs of 3 grouped together with no breaks. There's just one long note on the end of every section. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'll bring the notation on screen, and we'll go from the very top, and we'll have a look at the whole thing. So this is my little pickup bar in here with second, third, and fourth fret. I would go with either index, middle, ring, and build the chord, or you can start with pinky and anticipate the chord, because sometimes it may feel slightly easier than suddenly, you know, I need to get my all fingers in position from here, or just kind of have this chord in my head already and just sliding onto it. But again, see what works for you. Try the one that feels, you know, most natural, most intuitive. Okay, now let's have a look at the chord. So it's G, notes G, A, and C, 5th, 2nd, and 1st fret, and open E string, right? So we're playing first 2 bars. So I hold the same chord, and as you can see, even with the grouping of notes, so it's like first group of 3, and there's this little breakout to the first open string. And good idea would be just to break it down very slowly. If you're not comfortable with the chord, play any chord you like. A minor, C major. It's just important to be on the same set of strings, because we want to get the forward rolls going, because they happen throughout the whole section, and they're absolutely the same. So once you've got this thing going, it's just a little tiny change of a single note in the chord. Then it's just pinky going from 5th fret to 4th fret. I'll move the notation so it's a bit clearer. Okay. And the picking pattern is exactly the same. Now let's play first and second one. Not too fast. The second one. Okay. And this is the last one. F major 7 chord. So now it's just 3rd, 2nd, and 4th fret, so I just use my ring finger here. Here is the trick, here's a surprise, that from this F major chord, in major 7, it very quickly transforms to F diminished triad. So So let's break down this section, because there's a little trick in here. It starts as an innocent F major 7, just like we did. So this is just a default building block. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Then there's a diminished, and instead of open string, there's a pinky on 3rd fret of E string. So now let's try to get these two sections together. F major. That's the first one, second one. And here's a little thing. In notation, up here, there's this little tie on this G note, which means that I want it to ring over everything that comes next. So we had this diminished triad, and while this G is still ringing, I play my 3rd and 1st fret on D and the G string, and open E. It makes more sense in the context. And it goes to C major chord, which is actually 6 notes C and E here in the notation. 1st fret on 2nd string and 2nd fret on D string. And then there's this slidey minor 3rd, 5th fret on B string and 3rd fret on E string. I get this whole chord ringing and slide it up to my 10th fret. I see that there is a I made a mistake in the notation, but I'll send you the right one. But it's 5th and 3rd and 10th and 8th fret. So it's the same shape going from here, from 3rd fret here to 8. So this whole first ending, that's how the first turn of the whole A section ends. It goes with these two notes, and then it goes back to the very top. And again we have these stretchy chords in here. But the second ending is slightly different. So we have the same two notes, C and E, second string, 1st fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, but then this second ending, nice ringing tones. So it's C and E, don't see any. And then on 4th fret, both string 2nd and 4th, and then open 1st and 3rd string. I mean, this is the most Chet Atkins thing on the guitar that there is, because it could be just same shape moved 1 fret up, but it has this ringing character. So that's something that is all over Chet's style, and that's why I absolutely love it. Okay, let's have a look at the whole thing from the very top. So that's roughly it, and I'm gonna send you a graphics file with notation, and I'm starting working on the B section because there's plenty of great stuff going on in there. It's definitely worth having a look at the whole thing. It's just 2.5 minutes, but there's so much going on. It's like a great study of the whole. I'd say this is Chet Atkins, like the other end of the spectrum. It's not ragtime finger picking. It's everything else that he did. It's absolutely great. All right, Ed, thanks so much, and I'll keep you posted with the following part, and hope it will help. If anything, just fire away all the questions, and I'll try to help as much as I can. Okay, take care.